wanted to take today to explain to you a major paradigm shift in what is happening to traditional dividend stocks. It is the effect of artificial intelligence. Now, you've seen many of our monthly theses, but this is basically, we make observations, not predictions, and this is what we are seeing today. First of all, artificial intelligence. Massive supercomputers are causing a huge growing demand from power companies. If you look at that chart, and let's drill down into it, all of those blue circles are data processing centers that are now operating. You'll notice there's a whole bunch in the Northeast, and there's a big bunch of them in that area, also on the West Coast. What is happening is, as these data centers go up, they need to have reliable power, they need to have reliable fuel, and they need to have reliable places to store that information. Traditionally, utility companies, electric companies, have only grown based on population growth. There was no big increase in demand. Artificial intelligence and the use of these supercomputers is causing that demand. Now, let's look at the next item. Artificial intelligence is like electricity. Just as electricity transformed every major industry a century ago, AI is now poised to do the same. That's from the founder of Google Brain. This is coming into a whole new paradigm shift in energy and data processing and computing ability going forward. So, how is this transforming traditional dividend stocks? At the top, you see the power needs. They need the power. We'll drill down into each of these individually. On the bottom, on the left, you see energy support. They need reliable fuel. And then finally, once they've done the computing, they need a place to store it. So, AI's artificial intelligence power needs. Look at this quote. Artificial intelligence requires 10 times the power of traditional computing system. As the electric demand typically grows slowly with population, the use of artificial intelligence is causing a huge increase in demand. If you look at that chart from Dominion Energy, that is their expected growth rate for energy needs going forward out for the next 3 to 4 years. And that's because they have to power all of those big computers that you see on the other side of the screen. Now, what's also interesting, look at this. Many of you remember 3 Mile Island, the nuclear power plant that almost had a meltdown back in the late 70s. Constellation Energy, who owns 3 Mile Island, is now going back to 3 Mile Island to reopen those nuclear plants specifically to create energy just to meet the demand of the artificial intelligence computing area. This is not for residential demand. This is not to meet other power sources. It is specifically to meet the growing demand of the new technology. And watch this. Google. Everyone here knows Google. Google is now working with Rolls-Royce to create, they call them SMRs, small nuclear reactors. And they are just small plants, not the size of the traditional ones, but smaller ones that you can put in many locations. And they are all designed to do the same thing. Meet the needs of reliable energy needs for artificial intelligence supercomputers. Now, in order to create that energy, you have to also have reliable fuel. You can't depend on wind, you can't depend on solar. You have to have something that you know will give you 24/7, 365-day continuous fuel to provide the energy that is needed. So, when you put that all together, you have a growing need for that reliable fuel. You have a growing need for the electric that it's generating, and you also have a growing need now for data centers. And these data centers are huge buildings that do nothing but have storage for memory. And those areas, the interesting thing, they also need clean water. We might not think of it in a regular computer, but many of these large, massive AI computers, they have a cooling system. They need clean water in order to run their cooling system. They can't afford corrosion. They can't afford other issues like that. They need access to clean water. From there, that allows them, they have now the clean water, then they have to produce the energy, and then finally, they need an actual data center to build and hold all that massive data that they're doing. And here is this demand. All around, especially on the East Coast and the West Coast, there is a growing demand for real estate areas to build data retention centers, to build centers specifically to hold all this massive points of data. And that put it all together, and that creates an opportunity for our traditional dividend stocks. Traditionally, the utility stocks, they grew at the rate of a population. And the implication of that is now I need to grow faster than that because I have a new demand. I need to have reliable fuel, and then down the line I need to store it. So that is creating a whole new paradigm for what has essentially been historically very conservative dividend stocks. To sum it all up, artificial intelligence is reshaping the energy area, it is reshaping the need for fossil fuel, and it is reshaping the need for data storage centers. For those investors who invest in dividend-paying stocks, which are not usually your big growth stocks, a whole new paradigm shift is now occurring, primarily due to artificial intelligence. So, we see a very bright future for dividend stocks who have always lagged behind the growth area simply because they were conservative stocks. Now, with this new technology, dividend-paying companies in the energy area, the companies in the power area, and companies that produce data infrastructure are all poised for strong growth. That gives you stable income, and it'll give you the ability to focus on those areas that are benefiting from artificial intelligence without being overly aggressive. So the whole purpose of today was just to give you an update on a new technological shift, a true paradigm shift in what is going on in a very traditionally conservative area. So thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions, please give us a call. Thank you very much, and as always, remember, we're here looking out for you.